Hey guys, Keith here. I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. I know it's been about a week. I was wanting to get more videos out, but I don't know. It's just been one of them weeks that I just haven't done it. But anyway, tonight I wanted to talk about regrets. And I'll tell you a little funny story, sideline here, but I covered up my landline, my phone over here, because my mom always calls me every night. And so I already talked to her once today, but she may call back again. So I was covering up the phone in case she does call. And yeah, I'm 60 years old. My mama still calls me every night. So, hey, it's cool though. We have a good relationship. And so, anyway, I talk to mom and dad once in a while. Or, well, mom every night, and dad, you know, uh, not as often, but when we talk, we talk for hours. So, anyway, but appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. I want to talk about regrets and uh, just what a waste of time they are. Oh my gosh, they're horrible. They really are. And um, I have had them for longer than I like to admit, and so I want to hopefully help you with those. And let me know in the comments below if that's something you've dealt with, and if so, what kind of regrets you have. I mean, you don't have to, if it's real private, you don't have to share that, of course, but love to hear. I think it helps everyone in the community here, the Vintage Dad community, to hear some of the things that people deal with, and then they don't feel so much like they're alone, or there's something wrong with them. Right? We all have regrets, I believe, or have something that we maybe. Regret may be a strong word for some people. I know I talked to my dad about it one night, and he didn't seem to really have any regrets. But I think all of us probably have some things where we wish we could rewind time a little bit, but we don't have that ability. Or just, say that a little different, do that a little different. Don't do that at all. Don't say that at all. That kind of thing. But so we all have that. But true regrets, I have a couple that I'm going to mention tonight, and that were, things that I think about. One of them, I'm kind of, I don't dwell on either one of them anymore, honestly. But I was thinking of one of them tonight. I'll tell you why in a little bit. But um, I think of regrets as the devil's whisper. Okay, it's really just things that he would whisper to you, and if you don't believe in all of that, the spiritual thing or whatever, I mean, truthfully, it comes down to us because we're kind of beating our own selves up, or putting ourselves down because of the things we did or didn't do. It has nothing to do with anybody else. And there's my mama. I'm telling you, she's calling right now. But anyway, I'm gonna try. I'm trying to mute that a little bit. Anyway, but so I'll call her back in a little bit. So don't think I'm ignoring my mama. I'll call her back. But I wanted to, just talk about these regrets. I'm getting off track here because Mama's calling. She's gonna say here in a minute, "Hey, call me back," or "Hey, it's Mom," and so it's gonna throw me. But anyway, the regrets, I could cut this out, but I'm not going to. The regrets we have are just like I say, they're the voice of it's just a voice we shouldn't be listening to, even if it's our own voice, right? And anyway, we just need to ignore that those voices, and that voice, which it's our own. It's kind of that own kind of devil's advocate kind of thing where we're uh, you know pointing our finger at ourselves, going, "Hey, you remember when you did this? Uh, man, you should have really done this, or you remember when you didn't do that and you should have done that. You should have asked that girl out. You should have bought that stock. You should have sold that stock. You should have taken that job. You shouldn't have taken that job. The list can go on and on and on and on and on. And the thing about uh, life itself, we learn as we go. And it doesn't matter, and I'm 60 years old. It doesn't matter what age you get to, whether you're 20, you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, you're not going to make the right decision every time, especially when there are multiple decisions to be made. Sometimes you have a couple of job offers, or maybe you have one job offer. Do I take the job? Do I not take the job? Seems like a pretty good deal. But you don't always know what's best. You have to, I think, just kind of feel peace within. If you feel peace about it, then do it. And then if it doesn't go well, doesn't mean that your radar's wrong or something's off, but something else might have changed. It's hard to tell because everybody's life's different, everybody's situation's different. But the main thing is about regrets is they're a waste of time. Understand that. And so I challenge you, listen, if you have regrets today, I don't care what they are. I don't care what you've done. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter how bad it is. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. You can't change it, right? If you could change it, you would have already done it. You can't change it. So, or you wouldn't have the regret. I don't think. If you could change it, you would probably do something about it or try to figure out some way to fix it. Don't let it pull you down and waste your life because it's just a waste of brain cells. It's a waste of time. My son told me this one time, and he was little. I don't know how old he was. Wished I knew, but he's only 18 now. So he's not like, but this was, I dare say 10 years ago. So he might have been, I don't know. It's been a long time ago. And I was talking about regrets, and I'll tell you one of the regrets that that I've struggled with probably the most in my life. I'm over it now, but I've still once in a while it'll pop up in my mind and go, yeah, okay. But he said, Dad, listen, he said, if you keep regretting or having regrets, a year from now, you'll have wasted all this time thinking about, these things that you regret, these regrets. And now you regret thinking about the regrets. Now you got more things to regret. It's an endless cycle, and it's just a waste of your time. And so, he was just so wise. He still is. Him and my daughter both just always give great advice. And my daughter threatened to start charging me for my psychiatric advice, that she gives me sometimes. But anyway, so that's good advice. Don't waste your time regretting things that you can't change, because you're just beating the person that you are, beating them up. Don't do it. Don't waste that time. So, look forward to new things. Try to change. You can't change that, but change the way you are as a person and try to make better decisions in the future. All right, so I don't want to waste a lot of time. I want to tell you the two regrets that I have. I'm going to tell you the latest one, and this has still been several years ago now, but I had a really good job. I met my wife on that job. She was a customer of ours, and we wound up getting married, and the job entailed a lot of travel. And she later on started working with me and traveling with me, and we traveled together, worked together, had a good working relationship, and had a lot of fun and all that, and saw a lot of places. We've been from New York to LA. We've been everywhere. I've driven in every major city. I've seen a lot of things, and we saw a lot of cool things. But we got tired of traveling, and we were trying to look for something to kind of get off the road. We wanted to have a family and all that kind of thing. So anyway, we got a new manager that year, and I don't want to, kind of talk about him or judge him, but the new manager, me and him didn't G-haul very well, and he did a few things, said a few things that just, rubbed me the wrong way, kind of. And so we started kind of like, we didn't know how to get off the road and do anything. Back then, there wasn't a lot of remote jobs without travel. So we just didn't know what to do. We prayed about it. We thought about it. We talked about it. And not to blame my wife by no means, but I probably wouldn't have left if it hadn't been for her. If it had just been me by myself, I probably wouldn't have left the job. But it's like anything. When you get more than one person together and they're like encouraging you and you're encouraging them, yeah, do it. It's easier to do. And so we did it together and we felt good about it. We had peace about it. But we struggled a lot financially for a few years. We tried, we had plans. Hey, this is going to work. This is going to work. It didn't work. And, and so, um, just our retirement plan and our financial plan and, just a lot of that kind of went south during that period of time. And it was tough. It really was tough. Uh, we never missed a bill. I was never late on anything. So, that was good. And there was a lot of good things that came out of it. I mean, I would have probably been a different person today had it not been for that change. I feel like I grew a lot more and became a lot more patient and tolerant and things like that through the things that I went through, as opposed to if I just stayed at that job. But and my kids would have been different, I think, too. So the thing is, I kind of like Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox, the movie. If you change one thing, you change a lot of things. And if I change something and think, oh, if I'd done this and done that, or whatever, and then all of a sudden it doesn't involve my kids aren't in the picture anymore, it's not worth it. Okay, no amount of money is worth trading my kids. I love my kids and they're awesome, and so and I love who they have become and all that. We've had a good relationship their whole lives. So, when you think about that, it's a wonderful life kind of thing. That movie too. You change one thing and then all of a sudden, everything else changes. You change this and you have this great thing going on, but now you've lost your wife and your kids don't exist. Things like that. So it's just, regrets are just a waste of time. So don't do that. If you've made a mistake, you made a mistake. We all make them. Move on. Okay. That's my big one there. But my second one, I wanted to move to Nashville. My company was going to let me move. The president of the company, it was a big company, and the president actually offered me a really good package to just stay where I was. And it was several $1,000s, and that was back in the 90s. And I was single. I had no debt. My rent was $250, and it was a great deal. So what I said to myself is, I'm going to go to Nashville. There's a songwriters contest, and I'm going to go to that. I'm going to see how I do, because I wanted to pursue my songwriting in Nashville. So if it goes good, I'm going to move. I feel like that's okay. I need to move. And if it doesn't go good, I'll stay put. So I went down there. You got to showcase your songs, and then it was a a few days, 3 or 4 days deal, where you listen to other songwriters, and they had some people that you knew, songs you knew. The guy that wrote "Always on My Mind" for Willie Nelson, and of course Elvis recorded that too, and just all these great songwriters. And then they had these newer songwriters that came in, and so anyway, what wound up happening is I showcased my songs for Warner Brothers Publishing, which is the largest publishing company in the world. And when I presented my songs, and she gave me this critique, and I'm reading the critique, and it's all good. Everything's good. And so I went to talk to her and didn't know what to say, And she said, "I'm putting you in as my winner this week." And I was like, I didn't know what that meant. She gave me her business card. And some other guy asked for it after she handed it to me, and she said, "No, I don't hand it out to everybody." And turned out I won an award. There was about 600 songwriters there, and they had a top 10, and I was one of the top 10 that won, Songwriters Award. So I was like, maybe I need to move to Nashville, right? And anyway, there was a guy there that, like I say, they had these new people that were playing and showcasing their songs. And I don't know if this guy had any hits at that time, or had any songs that had been cut by other artists. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, he sang about 3 songs, and it was great. He was great. I didn't go up and meet him because I'm like, I don't know this guy, but I'm not in his league because he is awesome. And I should have went up and met him, even though I didn't know him, just to say, "Man, you are awesome." But I didn't do it. Later, this was 97, and 99, a CD came out. I heard the song, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I've heard that song before. I heard that at the showcase thing at the songwriter do," and it was Brad Paisley. Yeah. So to this day, I never got to meet Brad Paisley. I could have met him back then. I could have been his friend. I could have wrote songs with him, but I didn't. So that's regret number 2 or 1. I don't know. That's a kind of a big regret. But anyway, either way, it was a great experience. And, you know, as I say, guys, regrets are just not worth your time. Don't do that. Don't waste your time with the what ifs and what if I'd have done this and what if it doesn't matter. You can't go back. You can't rewind. You can't change time. You know, you can't go back. So don't waste your time. Okay. Just get in there and do your best today, tomorrow, the next day, and don't worry about what happened yesterday because it's gone and it just doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. And if you waste your time back here, you're never going to enjoy right here. Okay, so as always, appreciate y'all tuning in to Vintage Dad here, Keith Williams, and like I say, leave me a comment down below. Subscribe to us if you would. Give us a like on this if you like what we're doing, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.